Something about this building, Stephen Peake. Something about this building. Last year, we did this exact thing right where Reed Sheppard hit his game winner at the buzzer. Josh Hubbard goes for just an all-time 34-point performance last go-around. Reed Sheppard, unfortunately, had to do Reed Sheppard things and ruin their day. We've been here since Thursday, Stephen, and we got to see the build-up. We got to see the fans waiting outside, some camping out since midnight tonight, and just the environment. It lived up to every little excitement, and what the fans were incredible. Mississippi State was incredible, but Kentucky just so happened to be a little bit more incredible in a 95-90 victory here in Starkville inside the Hump. Is this Tom Leach's official?
Tom Leach or Goose Givens? I don't know. Do you recognize that handwriting?
I wish I did.
He has
but
the score right there. Well, there you go, 95-90.
It was one that, when both teams are playing at their absolute best, and you kind of just have that feeling of like, it would really suck to lose this one, but it's like, man, I can't believe we're getting to witness this in real time.
Yes.
That was the vibe that I got watching this, especially when Jackson Robinson, who has gone through so much, losing confidence, a guy that comes back to Kentucky, didn't need another year of college, but does to build his draft stock and get one more run playing in the SEC, and for him to kind of deal with the confidence issues and just kind of have the ups and downs and the roller coasters, and to have his breakthrough moment where he goes for the best game, 27 points, a career high against high major competition. Last year he had a game against Denver, I believe, where he had 28 points, so didn't quite get the career high, but career high against teams that matter. Mississippi State was awesome, and he was that much better. What can you say about Jackson Robinson tonight?
Just 7 threes?
7 threes.
7 of 10 from
7
three.
of 10.
Man, I'm telling you, if they had lost this game, if Hubbard hits a few more shots and Mississippi State wins, I was still coming out of this with a lot of positives because of that. 27 points. He also he got a few rebounds, got a couple assists. That was so big for this team, man, because they need him. He's got to be that guy. He was today. In the second half, he silenced the crowd over and over. There were people up in the stands saying, we need to get a chaser on number 2. There were Kentucky fans up in the stands chanting Jackson Robinson at the end of the game. I love it for him, man. I was so excited. I watched Mark Pope give him a big hug. I thought Mark Pope was going to get teary-eyed when he was hugging Jackson.
He said he did.
Yeah, I mean, and it looked like it. It was so awesome because this is what Kentucky has needed. This is what raises Kentucky's ceiling. Because I think Kobe Bryant, how many points did he give tonight?
3, 1 of 6.
When you have a game where you score 95 points and Kobe Bryant only has 3, whoa, that's good. That's some good stuff. Now, as far as physicality, we had a one-on-one with Pope after the game. Jack had a one-on-one with Pope.
Pretty cool.
After the game. Yeah, I've never seen that before, where we were the only people here, so we got to do a one-on-one. They talked about physicality. How did you think Kentucky responded with the physicality in this game?
I think they did a really good job early. I think when they got the 14-point lead, I think it kind of just I don't want to say they just kind of coasted, but there was kind of a stretch where they get the lead and it's like, okay, we're rolling. We got and Mississippi State throws the punch back and then just kind of keeps coming, and they come in waves, cut it to 2, ultimately take the lead again, and in those moments, in that stretch, I thought physicality kind of, they got away from what they were really, working with in the first half. I thought, physicality was great to start with. Rebounding was excellent to start with. Then hit a really, really low. And then I think there at the end, after, Ansley Almanor, talk about him in just a second, but when he kind of just says, okay, well, let's let's not drown. Let's not let go of the rope. We're fine. Let's just take a deep breath. I think the physicality then got back to where it needed to be. So a good, not a perfect performance with the rebounding and the physicality, but a lot better than what we had seen in as of late.
It was 65-51. I'm looking at Tom Leach's notes here. 65-51 at the, I can't necessarily see what that is, but let's say it's like
15-56.
And then it was the 71-71 in 10. So it's like 6 minutes a 14-point lead evaporated. And actually, I think just go ahead and add a little more time to that. It became 73-71. It was not a 16-0 run, but it turned a 14-point lead into a 2-point deficit. And I thought it's going to be real tough to come out of here with a win. This place, I hear all the talk of Auburn. We were there last year. It's good. It's so weird because I feel like the last 2 times I'm here, this is the toughest environment in the SEC. It's loud. It reminds me of like big high school games, like a big. I don't mean that disrespectfully, but I mean like it's just that the crowd is on top of you. It's suffocating. I'm down here on the floor, and it's just you can feel it. Like you and I just thought when they hit a couple threes and this place erupted, I just thought like. This is where, and we threw the ball away immediately, I think, and it was like, oh, here we go. And I saw Amari get a little upset.
It really did have that kind of vibe of like, Kentucky has won 18 straight regular season matchups against Mississippi State.
It's unbelievable.
Kentucky hasn't lost in this building since 2008. There's just a demon in this building when Kentucky comes to town that Mississippi State just can't overcome. And I'll be honest, it kind of felt like even when Jackson is rolling the way at a pace that we haven't seen ever, even when Ainsley Almanor is doing things that we haven't seen him do yet in a Kentucky jersey, they're responding to the physicality. The rebounding is where it needs to be. Amari Williams has, I think, his best first half that we've seen in a really long time. I thought Amari was excellent, had that a pretty poor stretch, and then responded well at the very end of the game. But we saw Kentucky at its absolute best. We met a new friend up there, a media guy from down here in Mississippi, and he was kind of like, man, you guys are rolling. And I was like, yeah, we're rolling. This is the best version of Kentucky, and it's, within striking distance at halftime. It's, you guys are still that good and that much, for it to be that close in Kentucky playing as well as it did, it just did kind of have the vibe with momentum would swing. And I just didn't know how they would be able to respond in those swings, Stephen. And for them in that moment to, Ainsley stepping up and hitting those big shots, and Lamont at the very end having that, finish it to kind of ice it, the dagger at the end. It just felt like right when they were ready to let go of the rope, they said, not so fast. And Ainsley Almanor was that guy. It was a beautiful performance,
man,
that you love to see coming off of, kind of somewhat of a disaster down in Athens.
Yeah.
Now 3-0 coming off of a loss.
Boom. I loved Ainsley Almanor just pull, catch, shoot. Look. It's just those were huge.
I want to be
huge,
as
huge
confident
shots
in anything in life as Ainsley Almanor is pulling from 3. That's awesome. And I don't know if you saw the picture of Ainsley. They handed out newspapers that said "Beat Kentucky," and he held it in the locker room. And the caption was like, "Guess not today, maybe next year."
Yeah, maybe. When's the last time? Was it George W. Bush the president last time?
Yes.
They wanted me. I don't know when that game was in 2008 to when Obama was in office or whatever.
It was
09. So yeah, it was the George Bush administration. Was the last time. George W. Bush administration was the last time that 91-90. I thought maybe the biggest play of the game. Twice Jackson Robinson has come up with the big bucket. He did it against Gonzaga, and then here, huge shot. Huge, and then it gives you just a little bit of breathing room. I think is that when Hubbard pulled up from 3 to try to tie it, and that was a tough shot. Hubbard took some really tough shots, but if you're a Mississippi State fan, you kind of live with that. I thought that Mississippi State team is like Elite 8 with
this is
an
elite,
upset. They're a Final Four team.
This is an Elite 8 battle. Like you got the latest update from ESPN. You'll just look at the net rankings, the way the seedings were kind of layered. The seeds reflected an Elite 8 matchup, and it had that feel. It just had that big game, backs against the wall. Oh man, Mississippi State's hitting big shots, but Kentucky's hitting bigger shots. And when Josh Hubbard is in a position to hit game seal, when the momentum is kind of flipping in such a way, and you have Josh Hubbard, who had been out with 4 fouls, enters the game, and he has a pull-up 3. It just had that. We saw it last year. He hit those shots with Reed Sheppard, and it just kind of had that vibe of, oh no, here we go. Josh, it's going to be Josh Hubbard's day. He didn't get the opportunity last year. Now is his chance, and he misses. And it's just like, whoa, he actually missed. I just didn't think that he would actually miss.
That's the thing. How many big shots did they hit? It felt like whenever they had a big moment, when there was momentum, that there's those times in games where it's just like, of course they're going to hit it. You just feel it, and the place is just rising up for a big 3, and it dropped almost every time until the last few possessions. What an incredible win. I'm so fired up.
A couple other notes. Andrew Carr stepping up, back injury. Mark Pope says that he doesn't practice all week long. It kind of was not even a game time decision, but a minute by minute decision as the game was going on. Pope said that he was going through pregame warm-ups, felt good, felt enough, back wasn't tightening up, that he was able to give it a go. But Pope said that even when first rotation, second rotation, that they would have check-ins with the strength and conditioning staff to be like, hey, do we need to shut you down? It was a minute by minute kind of deal with Andrew Carr. And for him to step up the way that he did, 13 points, 5 of 8 shooting, 1 for 2 from 3, 6 rebounds in a strong 21 minutes. 21 minutes for a guy dealing with back spasms and struggling the way that he clearly was. There were a couple times that he had a sense of urgency to get the hell off the floor. You look at him and it's he's fighting, and it's okay, that's all I got. I need to regroup. I'm in pain. I'm struggling. We didn't get to hear that it was a back issue until the broadcast tonight. But he kind of had a vibe of he was sick, just giving everything he had, and all gas, no brakes for a couple minutes, and okay, I need to regroup. I need a break. But it was back spasms, dealing with a back issue. So, man, what an incredible performance for him. Obviously, Jackson is the superstar. Ainsley Almanor kind of saves the day after kind of letting the team lets go of the rope a little bit. 14-point lead turns into a deficit there in the second half. But Andrew Carr stepping up the way that he did was really, really valuable, playing through injury. That was incredible. I thought Lamont played a really, really good day.
I thought Ortega played great again.
I'll be honest.
15 points.
It was, I think, Ortega's worst game as a Kentucky Wildcat.
Okay.
4 turnovers. Had some really timely mistakes, but his worst game as a Kentucky Wildcat is 15 points, 6 of 9 shooting, and 8 rebounds. It's Ortega's a really, really freaking good basketball player, and his worst is a lot better than basically everybody else's best. So Ortega stepped up, even though he struggled a little bit. Maybe his worst performance as a Wildcat, still very, very good for most people's standards. I thought Lamont, 10 points, 8 assists. The finish at the rim, at the end, that was the dagger to ice it and to end it. Go down the list. Travis Perry, he comes in, gives some really, really strong minutes, hits a massive 3, step back, offensive rebound, step back, drills it. It's whoa, where this dude's got some spunk. He's got some stuff to him. I don't know what else you could want from a game. This was exactly this is when Mark Pope says, I feel sorry for you if you don't get to witness stuff like this, if you don't get to play in the SEC this year, he feels sad for you, he feels sorry for you. Nights like this are why. Because the SEC in an all-time year, you have to take the wins when you can get them. You have to find the slight advantages every chance that you can get. And this felt like one of those games that it just wasn't going to go your way. It just, you live with it. You have the winning streak going against you, 18 straight. It's got to end at some point. Josh Hubbard looking for revenge, dealing with Andrew Carr's back issue. Jackson Robinson coming in on a cold streak, coming off of the one that we were supposed to win in Athens. Mm-hmm. Really kind of crapping the bed in that one.
It's crazy how they win every.
It just felt like nothing was working in this team's favor. And then for them to come in to this environment, an all-time environment, one that they were ready to kind of get that monkey off of their backs, and Mark Pope win 200, first SEC road win of the season, his first SEC road win as a Kentucky Wildcat head coach. It just had everything that you could possibly ask for, and nights like this are why we're very grateful to be Kentucky basketball fans, but college basketball fans in general. This is what college basketball is all about, and our trip to Starkville was worthwhile. We've been here for way too long, but it was worth it. Every minute was worth it.
3 nights in Starkville. At least leaving with the Kentucky win makes me feel better. I'll tell you what, I know we got to wrap this up, but I love that people are going to get to see some of the video I took of the bench during the game, because Kerr Kriisa is going to be, he's already kind of a fan favorite. They're going to love him, man. He was so into it. The whole team. This was a really, I know we use buzzwords, gutsy win. All the talk about toughness, to pull out a win like that, this feels good. Like, this feels like there's nothing sweeter than a road conference victory. And, we talk about football, winning football games, like what that feeling was like in Ole Miss. This kind of mirrors that a little bit. Like, I mean, this place, we talked to students. I talked to them all before the game. They were so confident that the streak was ending without Calipari being on the sideline. And that's awesome, too, because, if you lose, there's that, like, well, Cal never lost here. I mean, it's not. No one would really be serious, but it would be like, no, Cal never. I mean, he never lost his. No worries. Mark Pope's here. We're still beating Mississippi State. Doesn't matter. New coach, whole new team. Doesn't matter. We're still winning in Starkville. We're still beating Mississippi State.
4-0 against top 15 competition. 3 of those wins away from home. In an all-time season for this league, Kentucky is finding a way to separate itself among the best of the best, and that's a pretty special thing. We're going to go celebrate. We're going to have a really, really good time. However you can celebrate in Starkville.
Dave's Tavern.
I guess. However you celebrate in Starkville, we're going to go do it. Thank you to Kentucky basketball. Thank you to Mark Pope. Thank you to Jackson Robinson. Thank you to the Kentucky Wildcats for giving us this moment, because it's going to be one that we cherish for a really long time until the next top 10 win in the SEC.
There'll be plenty
of other opportunities. Signing out from a very long trip to Starkville. We'll see you next time.